illegal ham in the face. But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bry.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into another episode of Illegal Ham to the Face. I am Jared Fatty Bates. He is Big Bry. What's going on, big fella?
Oh, living my best life. How about you?
I was living a good life until about Sunday between 1:35 and 4 p.m., and then it kind of went to shit.
Well, we're kind of used to that in the fall. It's a good thing,
Well,
but it doesn't mean it hurts less.
Hey, it doesn't help that I got a text from my nephew that said "Who Day." I got a text from James on here that said "Who Day," and I'm just sitting there going, yet another season opener and yet another loss. All right.
Like clockwork.
It is. We'll get into that here a little bit. Our show is brought to you by Hero Q and Lake Erie, APA. Also, City Dogs Cleveland. Bry, at least meat chicken lost. Oh, yeah. Michigan lost. At least Michigan lost. Yeah. I felt bad for you, Bry.
Don't feel bad for me. I'll be all right.
Are you sure? It was Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's good.
Are they? Because they went 6-7 last year.
Well, yeah, they weren't good last year. But I would, if you want, I would place a bet they'll make the playoffs this year.
Oklahoma?
Their quarterback's a gamer, yeah. Although they do play in the SEC, so they probably play a pretty difficult schedule going forward.
We'll see. Normally cupcakes afterwards. All right.
But you got nine tough games. It's not like we can have the discussion some other time about Big Ten SEC, but the Big Ten has like 3 or 4 good schools, and then everybody else is pretty mediocre. The SEC, they might only have 1 or 2 great schools, but then they got at least 6 or 7 like real tough schools every year. But
Vanderbilt. Yep, Vanderbilt.
They beat Alabama last year.
Anybody could beat Alabama last year.
I think everybody Ohio State Alabama. Ever losing to Rutgers. You know, these bottom feeder teams can't jump up and beat like Ohio State in the Big Ten, but you see it in the SEC once in a while.
Well, that's because the SEC is a bunch of jokes, and I just can't stand the SEC. So I'm going to be, hey, just call me Jared Feinbaum up here in the Big Ten country. And
there was a college football. Since we're on college football, there was a controversial statement about Ohio State being wide receiver U. Would you agree with that that statement? I know you're a big Buckeye fan, but is Ohio State the wide receiver U? Meaning there can only be one.
Brian, if you look at the wide receivers that are in the NFL right now,
there can only be one. Out with it. I know you agree with me.
No, I don't think they're wide receiver U.
Yeah, it's LSU. It's pretty clearly LSU. LSU has the 2 best wide receivers on the planet, and they have 4 of the top 10 best wide receivers on the planet. And they recently just produced Odell and Jarvis Landry too. So Ohio State's very good. Don't get me wrong; they're probably 2, for sure top 5. But yeah, pretty clearly LSU.
Yeah, you got some Hall of Famers from OSU, But
I'm without really looking at the landscape of the last 50 years, I'm just talking like current day, last couple years.
Last couple years? Let's see here. We got a whole bunch of them that are in the NFL right now. A lot more than LSU wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the statistics on that. I just more look at who's got the cream of the crop. Like, who would you say is the best wide receiver from Ohio State in the NFL?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
probably Garrett Wilson.
Okay, I would have said McLaurin based
I
on
mean, yeah.
what he did last year.
I mean, but you think about it. You got Scary Terry. You got
Oh, there's a
Wilson. You got
bunch.
Olave. You got Smith and Jigba. You got Mbuka on Sunday that
Mm-hmm.
just went off like crazy. I guess Baker's got a new friend down there in Tampa. It just seems like every year Ohio State gets a wide receiver drafted in the first round, and
Mm-hmm.
well-deserved wide receiver getting drafted in the first round. It's not like they come in and they're like complete bust. They're not. Some of them right now aren't Hall of Famers, but they're great players. Are they like a Hall of Fame path? No, but they're all great wide receivers.
I would agree with everything you just said. Yeah, they're all very good, probably above average wide receivers of the ones that were drafted in the first round, and yeah, they just turned them out. But I'm basing it on the handful are the best of the best from LSU. So,
Mike, not today. Not Mike. Not to. Oh God.
he's a Packer fan.
Well, he's
We
not a
got him
Packer.
next week.
He's not a Packer fan, but he just really hates the Browns. It's like one of your redheaded stepchildren that you just keep locked in the closet.
He hates the Browns. He's got to have a reason. Who
Oh
hates
no,
that? I don't know anybody that hates the Browns. It's not like a Steelers or a Bengals fan or something.
No, he is a Browns fan, but he hates the Browns because they do this crap every year, and it's just like, hey, it's like honestly, Bri, we know what this year was going to be. But it's like, hey, Mom, can I get a Nintendo for Christmas? Sure, son, we'll get you a Nintendo for Christmas. And then you get in there and you open up the box and all the glitz and glory, and you see the Nintendo box in there, and you're all excited. And then you open up that Nintendo box, and you get a used Sega Genesis with 2 broken games, is what you get.
Yeah, I mean, so goes life as a Browns fan. Unfortunately, it's got to change at some point, but I don't think it's going to be this year. I had to put my money down.
No, and I was optimistic at the beginning of this. Let's get into our show. That way we can start talking crap about the Browns because that's what we love to do here. All right, Brian. Haven't been since '99. Yeah, I know, Mike. Baltimore stole our team. Guess what? Hey, we're going to go celebrate that in Baltimore this week. Can't wait for that. Might as well just stab us again while we're there. Bastards.
Spit in our face.
Speaking of spitting, good God, that was great. I loved every minute of that. Like, okay. At least Dak Prescott kept us cool on that one, though, Bri.
It's wild. It was like, unscripted, big-time wrestling. Like, even before they run a play. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is how the season starts. The best player getting kicked off the field without playing a snap. It's wild. How stupid can you be? But these guys are all meatheads, and if their masculinity is challenged at all, like I guess he thought that Prescott spit in his direction, so he felt like he had to spit on him. But you're right, literally 2 feet away from the referee. So
I think it was just on the Cowboys jersey is what he was doing.
Well, he spit on it. Yeah, he spit on his jersey.
But if you're going to spit on him, you could have spit right in his face. You're right there. He just spit down.
That's just as bad. Yeah.
All right, let's get into our show, Bri. We got trivia for you. You got trivia tonight. Let me play the trivia sounder, and then we will get going. Trivia is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Here we go. All right, Brian. Trivia is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Please go adopt a City Dog if you can. If you cannot, please volunteer, donate. Get beautiful faces like this one right here that you can adopt at City Dogs Cleveland. Look at that smiley face. So go adopt a dog from City Dogs Cleveland. All right, Brian, give me that trivia.
All right. Well, we're going back to the well with the tribe, with Gardos. And Jose keeps climbing up these lists on all-time history for our organization. So he is the number 2 guy in stolen bases now for the Cleveland baseball franchise. So I'm guessing you can guess who number 1 is because it's pretty easily number 1. So I'm the question's gonna be, who did he pass? So who's the current number 3?
Who's the current? Is it recent?
Yeah,
our
yeah. This
lifetime?
isn't. Yeah.
Okay.
I would think so. The other one was he's number 2 on RBI list as well, and so bonus points if you can give me who leads the franchise in RBIs.
Ooh. All right. That's going to be a fun one.
Sure.
All right. We'll catch it here at the end. Bri, let's bump that Cleveland headline love. Let's just start diving right into stuff. All right, before we dive into what was Sunday afternoon, we do have to give a Guards update. There are 19 games left. There are 2 games out of the wild card. Bri, I have a weird feeling that they're going to sneak their little asses right into this wild card and then get trounced in the first round. But, man, I can't believe after the way this season going, especially with Slade Ciccone last night, going 7 full innings, no hitter going into the 8th. Last night, pitching a gem. They keep seeing and find ways to just kind of grab and claw into this, and they just keep trying to hang in there, Bri. I mean, how do you feel about the Guards still hanging in there?
It's the roller coaster of 162 games. Seems like every week we come on, we have a different narrative, a different view of this team. They're either the worst team ever, or they're starting to get something together, or they're just average team. They're never going to beat anybody who's a decent team. So
yeah,
where we stand right now, probably somewhere between an average team and making a run in the playoffs. But the good news is you got a lot of fun baseball ahead of you with some quality teams that are hopefully going to be in the mix, and we can maybe, if we beat them, gain some ground. Well, we have Kansas City tonight. We still have a handful of games left with the Tigers, so anything is possible. I think maybe the division's probably too far out of our reach, but who knows? It's just going to be difficult. It sounds. I was looking at the standings a little bit today. I don't know if you have them up or if you looked at them recently. I thought we're 2.5 back of. Is it? So we just passed the Royals. Is it the Blue Jays we're 2.5 back of, or Texas? Texas and Seattle are both ahead of us, correct?
Yes, and we play Texas at the end of the year. I know that for a fact.
That'll be huge.
And we have Kansas City right now. We have the White Sox, which in 4 games with the White Sox. So hopefully you
gotta take 3 at least.
Yeah, you have to do that. Let me look
hopefully
real quick.
4.
Standings. There we go. Let's take a look. See here. So right now you have the Yankees and the Red Sox both at 80 wins, and then you got the Mariners, Rangers, and Guardians, and we are 2.5 back of the Mariners and a game back of Texas Rangers.
Okay. All right.
So for us to sneak in, we're going to have to go after Seattle, and then we are. What are we in the division? 9 games like back 8, in the division right 9 now.
9 games back.
So division might be out of reach, but we do have.
Probably.
But we do have 6. I think we have 6 games with Detroit coming up. So if we have 6 games with Detroit, we can at least we can figure that out. But yeah, I think it would be great.
Can't wait. I mean,
I think they can do it,
let's
Bry.
just hope. Let's hope they give us a September and they're into it until the end of the month. At least make it exciting for us to go on this ride with them, even if they don't. The thing that sucks is, we could pour our blood, sweat, and tears into making a run here, and then you get one game against another team, and if you have bad performance, you're bounced. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that they expanded the playoffs, but just for 162 games, 2.5 hours of baseball, it's just kind of wild.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Bry, I'm depressed. We're getting into it. We're getting into it now. Cleveland, you had a chance to win, Bry, and not like a little chance to win. Like we were talking beforehand, you doubled them in yardage on offense. Your defense was out of their mind. I mean, you held Joe Burrow to under 200 yards, under 100 yards. I think he had 113 on the day. They did not rush the ball at all. You held Jamar Chase to 2 catches, and you lost the game by a point. You lost the game by a point because your kicker, and Bry, dare I say, when I saw that kid miss the extra point, right then and there, I felt the knife start to dig in. And I'm like, this is how we're losing this game. Right there. That kick is going to come back and haunt us, and we're going to lose that game on that kick. And sure as shit, we lost the game on that kick.
Yeah, I guess now's the time for me to do a little champions pose because I said last week it's going to come down to special teams, and our special teams make me very nervous, and it's going to come down to turnovers, and those were the two things that did you in. Like we saw last year, you didn't turn the ball over. You got 0 turnovers by your defense, even though they played a gem. You can't ask for much more from them, especially Joe Burrow takes care of the ball, so it's going to be hard to pick him off. But yeah, the special teams, I never felt great about it. It's kind of like everyone was just going based off of the thought that he can't be as bad as Dustin Hopkins. Let's get Hopkins out of here. Let's get somebody new in. But at the same time, I'm thinking, all right, this guy was never drafted by anybody. He has no kicking experience in the NFL. Why are we just assuming that he's going to be like an average kicker? He's got to go through his lumps, and he hit the first one. Kudos to him. But it's like having the lead in a PGA Tour event after 3 rounds, after 54 holes. Like, there's nothing that can prepare you for that type of pressure that you're going to be facing. So, as great as he looks in warm-ups and as great as he looks in kicking game winners in the preseason, it pales in comparison to kicking in an NFL game and, kicking in games that matter where your team is counting on you. And so, yeah, it was unfortunate to see how well we played defensively, and offensively we played well too. You wish that we would have gotten the end zone a little more and not left it up to the kicker, because when you do that, it's crazy how much power and how much a kicker's abilities go into the outcome of a game, because it's just if you don't have one, you don't feel good at all. And so that's where we were when he missed the extra point, and then he's kicking that 36-yarder, and I didn't feel good. I can't imagine many Browns fans felt good about him knocking it through, but you kind of give yourself assurance that this is a chip shot. These guys do this all the time. This is relatively easy for him, but it's just so mental, and that's what happened with Hopkins. To go from, like I called it a couple weeks ago, like the best kicking season a Browns players ever had 2 years ago. And then last year, just looking like, he was lost, and it just kind of snowballs on you. And that pressure you're just trying not to miss the ball. And you're going through your motions and just not there mentally. So, I don't know where they go from here kicking wise. But to me, it's, if we were really, concerned about trying to make a run for the playoffs, you don't have a rookie kicker with 0 experience in there. You go out and you get a veteran. I don't care if he's 41 years old, like the Buffalo Bills did with Matt Prater. He went out there, you won him a game. You get a guy with experience that knows what that pressure feels like and is comfortable with that pressure. And somebody who has never kicked in the NFL. I mean, you're just a different breed. There's guys that can do it, like Brandon Aubrey down in Dallas. Rookie, he just setting the league on fire. You know, at some point, Justin Tucker got into the league, and he had to make a name for himself. And you're just, these guys are different animals, they're different breeds. You know, but when you're playing the kicker roulette, you just go out and you just try anybody. But I would feel more comfortable with a guy who has experience in that moment. And you would think an experienced vet, even if he's off the street, he can make a 36-yarder. But our guy couldn't, and became the story of the game, and kind of wiped everything, all the good that happened in this game, kind of under the rug. And we got to talk about not having a kicker again.
Well, let's talk about the good. All right, Flacco looked good. By the way, Brian, those 2 interceptions, not his fault. Mm-hmm. And I can honestly say that's not his fault. He did a very good job of controlling his team, controlling the line of scrimmage. Now, granted, do I want to see him throw for 45 times again? No, but we don't have a run game still. That's part of the negative. Bonus, Cedric Tillman showed up with the exception of the drop there at the end, touchdown pass. Hey, Harold Fanning Jr., holy cow, did that kid come out of nowhere? And Dylan Sampson. Both of our rookies on offense came out and showed up really good. I think this was a masterful call by Stefanski. Some people might not think so, but he did what he had to do for this team. And everybody's like, well, he was playing not to lose. No, he was playing for the win, because he knows that if you try to get in a shootout with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, he kept his defense on the sidelines, got them rested while the offense was out there. There wasn't that many 3-and-outs, Bry. They ran the clock. They had double the clock on Cincinnati, and they kept Cincinnati's offense off the field. And that's the game plan to beat Cincinnati. And it didn't come to fruition. It sucks it didn't, because this team definitely did play well enough to get this victory on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna have to win games this year, is kind of ball control. You know, maybe the biggest disappointment of the game was our running game, like you touched on. But yeah, so many guys stepped up. You mentioned Tillman, Fannin, and I wish we had more time last week, and it's going to sound like hindsight, but I was going to ask for your bold prediction of the season this year. And my bold prediction was Harold Fannin was going to be our second leading receiver. But it's kind of like, oh, yeah, sure you are, BS right now after we see what happened. But
after he had the most targets on Brown's offense on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't think that's going to continue. Right now he's our leading receiver, I believe. But yeah, him stepping up the way he did can only be a positive. The one that really surprised me was Dylan Sampson. I knew he was a player from Tennessee, and he really didn't get a chance as much to catch the ball out of the backfield there. Like I think he will this year, especially once Judkins comes back. But yeah, he was every running back getting the ball from a handoff and running it was pretty bad. I think I think Jerome Ford had
negative
6 carries for 8 yards. He didn't have a run over 2 yards a carry and 6 tries. And then you had the other guy who scored the touchdown, who Rocket something, I can't even remember his name. 3 carries for 3 yards, and Sampson had a little bit of success, but he wasn't more than 3 yards a carry. He was under that. So catching the ball in the backfield, he's a playmaker. You get the ball in his hands in space, and he was able to do something. So that was exciting to see. That's kind of what I was looking for going into this game is some of these new guys. We know what Judy can do. We know what Njoku can do. But these rookies, and even said Tillman, we haven't seen a whole lot from him. So to see him be involved and score that touchdown and kind of look good, minus that one drop that kind of hurt us, kind of gives you some hope and some excitement going forward. I think Isaiah Bond is going to be a guy who's going to be exciting to see. We just have to get him up to speed first, and I think he should get a lot of opportunities if Stefanski and Reese are really trying to use all their playmakers. You got to get the ball in his hands, and this is a year to figure out what you have in these offensive playmakers, because as we'll get into maybe later today's show and throughout the season, you almost have to have a different mindset going into this year. And that's why you told me before the show that this was a top 3 biggest heartbreak for the Browns. And I'm not there. I don't think I'll be there at all this year, just because my expectations are not high. So I don't think the Browns can really hurt me too bad this year, because, in the back of my mind, I know we're not playoff contenders. We're not Super Bowl contenders. So what's one more loss? It doesn't hurt me that bad, no matter how it happens. Now, the only thing that can hurt me is injuries late in the year. So injuries that affect next year. If Miles is going down with a season-long injury in November, December, or same thing with some of these other young, exciting guys that we have, if it starts affecting next year's team. But I know nobody wants to hear that. But it's just kind of what I'm going to keep coming back to this year, especially with this tough stretch. Maybe they can prove me wrong over the next month and a half. And, if we can even go 3-3 through our first 6, or even 2-4, surprise some teams, maybe I'll change my way of thinking. But yeah, what hurts is this was one of the games that I really thought we could get, because we match up so well against the Bengals. And I think you saw that again. But yeah, special teams and turnovers, when 2 teams are equally matched, if one team has the advantage in special teams and turnovers, that usually spells doom for the other team.
Well, you're right there, Brian. It was right there. I think the defense held them to 7 total yards in the second half, I think is what I heard. 7 total yards, Brian, and you still can't win that game. You can't win that game. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. See, this is where we differ. I understand what the expectations are for this year. I still think they're going to win 5, maybe 6 games. Even though I'm not Justin, it's not 11. I get where they're at, Brian, but still I am a fan, and I want to see them actually win. And when they're actually winning a game, Brian, and winning a game on 2 of the 3 phases, and 2 of the biggest 3 phases, they're winning on offense and they were winning on defense, and they still lost. That's where I get frustrated. Is I don't care that if they have a losing season or anything like that. They played a great game against a great team that people say MVP Joe Burrow, which didn't look like it when we were playing them, okay? MVP Joe Burrow, 2 of the best wide receivers in the NFL, all this other crap, and you held them to under 200 yards total offense, and you cannot win that game. That's where I start to get frustrated, because that right there seems like a coaching thing more than anything else. And it's one of those things that could be, hey, we're smarter than you. This kicker, we so much better. We see him in practice. We see him here. We see him there. Okay. When was the last time he played? Oh, wait, USFL. I think that was the last time he played. Come on. At least get a guy in here that just can kick the damn ball. Can we get here? How about this? Jimmy Haslam, you have a team about 2 hours south of Cleveland called the Columbus Crew. Why don't you go get one of their kids? Bring them up here. Put them out there and kick. Like something. Between quarterbacks and kickers in this city, it is nauseating.
Probably 2 of the hardest things to find in all sports. And really, if you have a bad one, it can really hurt your chances of winning. As we're finding out, we knew that all along with quarterbacks, but just kickers nowadays, it's crazy the effect that they have on the game. We have a kicker that can't hit a 36-yarder. Yeah, we're probably going to lose. Pittsburgh has a kicker that can kick a 60-yarder. Yeah, they're probably going to win. That's a weapon. When you have a kicker that's, Dustin Hopkins 2 years ago was a weapon for us. As soon as you got within 60 yards, you felt pretty good that he was going to make it, because he did. So put 3 points on the board. So, 6, 9 point swings, just from a kicker is kind of wild. So, but and I knew we were going to talk majority about the kicker, but and that's going to be the lightning rod. But I mean, if we want to be critical, I don't think you can be critical of the defense, other than maybe, how about getting a turnover? But you can't. I don't know. Turnovers are kind of fluky, although we don't seem to get many at all. But looking at our offense, what do we hear about Cincinnati for the last 8 months, 12 months, 15 months? We keep hearing how terrible their defense is. So even if our kicker makes his kicks, you're still only putting up 20 points on this terrible, god-awful defense that we keep hearing has nobody outside of Trey Hendrickson. So you're still only putting up 20 points. Like, that's great. And I get it. We're excited that Flacco's back. And we had these guys missing these passes that turned into interceptions. And that hurts. There's no doubt about it. But, we didn't throw the ball down the field much. Outside of, I think 2 times, maybe over 10 yards is what he threw it. And one of them was the last play of the game when we really didn't. So as far as the pass game goes, that's not great. But Joe Flacco did what I thought he would do. Maybe he was a little better than I thought. It's just where my expectations are for a 40-year-old quarterback that nobody else in the NFL was going to have start a game for him. And then, going to our run game is just, there's no excuse.
No,
it was bottom 5 of the league on Sunday. We just couldn't get anything going, and so goes life after Nick Chubb, I guess. But it's just, it was hard to watch. I've always kind of viewed Jerome Ford as a boomer bust guy. Either he's going to get you 1-2 yards or he's going to get you 60. And so that 60-yard play never came. And, there's some help coming with Judkins, but right now your running backs aren't up to snuff. And, with an aging offensive line, it's hard to tell, why our running game was so terrible. But it has to be better because, you're not going to win many games with those type of stats from your running backs.
Yeah, your leading yards per carry was Fanning Jr. and Joe Flacco at 3 yards a carry.
Yeah, pretty bad. Yeah, right. And so I understand fans' frustration with how well the defense played and how terrible. Well, our kicker missing 2 easy kicks. I understand the frustration with that, but peel back some of those layers, put those aside, and start really looking at the offense and going back and looking at that. We were pretty good. If we were playing the Ravens defense and we get that type of effort, you'll probably be pretty satisfied with it. But one of the worst defenses in the league is what we kept hearing about it. And we can't throw the ball down the field, and we can't get any sort of run game at all. So that's why. The defense played well enough to win the game. They deserve to win the game. The offense and the special teams, probably not in my mind.
All right. So obviously we're giving the special teams besides Corey Bojorquez, who is the MVP of this Cleveland Browns team, giving them an F. You just got to give them an F. What would you grade the offense and the defense, Bri?
Starting with the good, I mean, the defense, like I said, I'd give them an A. The only thing you could ask more from them is turnovers. So that's how they would get an A+. But, I got to give them an A. Offensively, it's hard. I don't think that they're good enough to have to be a B. So I'd give them a C+. But, it's, People want to get excited about Flacco, and he threw for 290 yards. How are you going to waste that great performance? But really go back and look at it, and really go back and it's about how many times is he throwing it? Why is he throwing it so much? Well, because we can't run at all. So the passing game, maybe I would give a B to. The running game's probably an F. So average about the C+.
All right, if you have to give an illegal hand to the face game ball to somebody on defense and offense, who are you giving that game ball to?
Well, I feel like Miles Garrett is a free space, so I'm gonna try to pick somebody else. I'll give it to. There's a few guys. Schlesinger played great, but I think Isaiah McGuire just continues to progress. Had a sack, had a couple tackles for losses. Was maybe our third or fourth leading tackler. So he's just, yeah, for somebody who doesn't get a whole lot of pub because of the other guys across your defensive line, I think he just goes out there and he continues to work, continues to get better, and really is a great compliment to Miles.
All right, offense.
Offense, I'm going to give it to Dylan Sampson. Just because, like I said, I had high expectations. I was high on Fannin, so he would be the other guy to consider here. But yeah, Sampson, I don't want to say he was spectacular because, as we've covered, the ground game was not great. But he had 8 targets and he had 8 catches. So for a rookie in his first game, to have that kind of impact, and he was making guys miss. He's getting yards after he catches it. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by him.
Offense for me would be Fanning Jr. I just think seeing that kid, live NFL game against NFL defense, not second team and all that stuff, and seeing how versatile he was. I mean, he even got in a Wildcat, for one carry. So just seeing how versatile they're going to use him. Defensive wise, obviously, Myles Garrett's always going to be the check mark. So I'm going to go off of Myles. I'm going to go Greg Newsome, right? And the only reason why I say Greg Newsome is it's been a while since he's actually played man-to-man on the outside. He's going up against T. Higgins most of the game, who is, dare I say, a 1 on most teams. He is a 1B there in Cincinnati, and kind of held his own, Brian. I mean, T. Higgins really didn't have – he had 3 catches for 33 yards. Their leading receiver was Noah Fant with 4 receptions for 26. So for this defense and the secondary in general, because I had questions about this secondary, Brian. I didn't know, after Denzel Ward and possibly Grant Delpit, you had your question marks about the secondary, and they actually played pretty good. And like you said, they would have got an A+ too. I'm with you. They would have got an A+ if they would have got a turnover. We would have got a pick or a fumble out of that whole situation, but we almost got a safety. If they would have got that safety on Joe Burrow, I think that would have got him the A+ right there, because I think if they would have got that safety, that would have changed. And, man, Myles Garrett, there in the fourth quarter, when you needed somebody to step up, it just hearing Siliano on the call just going, and it's Myles again. I mean, he almost had 3 sacks in a row right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was fun to watch. It's a good call on Newsome. I feel like he doesn't, or at least he hasn't gotten his due really for this game, and from me included. Because going with T. Higgins is a great receiver, and he's usually the guy that Emerson sticks to because he's a bigger receiver. Emerson being a bigger corner, but you don't really question. As crazy as it to say, you don't question Denzel Ward on the best receiver in the game, the Triple Crown winner from last year. Denzel's going to do his thing. But we got to worry about, all right, what about their other great receiver? And, he didn't do much. He had a better day than Jamar, but 33 yards, I would say, is kind of shutting him down.
Okay, and one more quick thing before we move on to Baltimore. Bri, I know that he got poked in the eye. Is it all right for me to be over Jack Conklin?
Well, it depends on what your reason is. Because he got poked in the eye and because he's not available? I would say that's not fair.
Well, why is it not fair? He hasn't been available since he signed here, and they gave him an extension and he hasn't been available. He's been injured every freaking year that he's been here, Bri. And then next thing you know, hey, I didn't even see the poke in the eye. I just saw him out again. I'm like, Christ, there he goes. He blew his freaking knee again. He's gone for the year. Like, that's what I feel like with this guy. Like, this guy is just Charmin wrapped and just, I think he's soft.
Yeah, well, yes, I would say that's unfair because what I heard is you couldn't even see his eyeball. His eye was swollen shut. So, I mean,
put a patch on him.
Okay. Well, I mean, if if you were going to go after a tackle, I'm surprised you're not going after other tackle who kind of had a rough day.
No, he had a good first 3 quarters, and then he got tired towards the end. And then Trey Henderson beat him up in the fourth.
You're going to go after. You're going to go after a guy for having his eyelid swollen shut, but not going after a guy for being out of shape and being nearly 400 pounds.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's your prerogative.
You want to know why? Because one played for Ohio State, the other one did not.
I wasn't going to say it.
Oh, I'll say
played for
it.
Michigan State, so I don't particularly like either one. But no, I got a lot of respect for Jack Conklin. I think it's just unfortunate.
I mean, I know it's unfortunate, Brian, but it's just this is all I hear about this offensive line. It's like, oh, Jack Conklin, Pro Bowler, he's going to be. And then, like, every time I turn around, he's injured. He's out for like 8 weeks, and it's like, here we go again. And hey, we get him back, and then he's out for another 8 weeks, and it's like, the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, but you saying he's Charmin soft, I don't feel like is fair. You just said he's injured.
Okay,
he's injured. This isn't Jared Allen we're talking about here. This is the guy who tore his ACL and can't play football.
Well, hey, this is also, we had a running back that shot himself in the face with a firework, and he still played this weekend.
Najee Harris, is that who you get at?
Oh, that's why shot himself in the eye with a firework. Yeah, he's still get a little finger poke. Just patch that thing up. Let's go, tape it up.
I don't know. I can't speak to it really. I'm just going what I heard of, but yeah, I don't. It doesn't sound like fun. If you've ever been poked in the eye, I have. Probably not nearly as bad as what he did. Maybe he'll learn to wear a visor or something because that can't be happening.
All right, Brad. What's worse, a poke in the eye or one of those kamikaze gnats that hit you in the eye at work?
Oh, poke in the eye for sure.
No,
absolutely. Oh,
those little kamikazes just fucking barrel right into you.
They're annoying, but I don't know if it's as bad as getting poked in the eye. That's that'll ruin your day, if not your week. Let's hope. I don't know. Maybe I think they don't come out with the injury report till tomorrow. Let's hope he's good to go this week because
I bet
we'll definitely need him.
I bet you he's wearing a visor from here on out.
Well, the only thing I could think of was Orlando Brown.
I
was at that game and just not knowing what was going on, but then seeing the videos afterwards, like, oh, if Conklin's eye was looking like that, I think that might have ended his career.
All right, Brian, let's look into Baltimore. Baltimore lost. Great one up in Buffalo.
Yeah.
God, I loved every minute of that. Lamar Jackson, legit. Derrick Henry, still Derrick Henry. Brian, he's creeping up in top 3 status of all-time running backs. He's got to be, right?
I feel comfortable top 10 right now.
Not top 5?
Not all time. No, not all time. But top 10 or so. I don't know really what more he has to do, but he's still getting it done. 30 years old or whatever he is.
People bouncing off of him like BBs off of a plate glass, just ding, ding, ding.
And he's gigantic, but the thing that is shocking to me is he still has his speed. He's still running away from guys I saw in the first half, and when you have him with Lamar Jackson, I mean, I feel bad for the defense. Thank goodness they don't have many receivers because if they had any, Zay Flowers isn't bad, but those two guys is just.
Andrews showed up and had a couple good spots.
Oh yeah, Andrews. I mean, he's top tier tight end going right now. He might be on the back 9 of his career, and he's always torched the Browns. He's good for at least 1 touchdown, maybe 2. So you're gonna have to watch out for him. I don't know if Likely is playing. I don't believe he played this past week.
No, he's injured with something, and I don't know if they're going to have him back. He's still questionable.
Yeah, so I mean that would be good news for the Browns. But yeah, we struggle with the tight ends for as long as I can remember, and particularly Andrews. So you have to bring our A game again, and hopefully we can hold them to less than 20 points, which is a tall task because I mean it just seems like Lamar Jackson's playing a different sport. It looks like it's just so easy for him. But the Browns have a different style of defense. They're a step up from the Buffalo defense, so I feel like we can have success. He shouldn't score 40 on us, but the counterpart to that is the Baltimore defense is a lot better than Cincinnati, so it's going to be a little more difficult for us to get to 20 points against them.
Yeah, and then also, they're doing their whole anniversary of when they stole the Cleveland Browns from Cleveland, and celebrating their Super Bowl that should have been a Cleveland Browns Super Bowl, and
still hurts.
Yeah, still hurts too. Hey, I'm glad the NFL scheduled this the way they did. Like, hey, it couldn't have been any other team. It had to be Cleveland. Like,
oh, they love it. They love the drama. Yeah.
It's not even the drama. It's just shitting on Cleveland all over again, Bri. Like,
I love that too.
I mean, I know some people don't realize that, the Baltimore Ravens stole, Art Modell stole our team and moved it to Baltimore. It just, God. And then I had to watch the 30 for 30 for that shit too, just to see what they talked about. And Brian Billick saying that Art Modell should be in the Hall of Fame, and just, and then Ray Lewis, who was, not talking about his past with alleged murders and everything else. Allegedly. Brian, I'm kind of with you. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and this offense is going to be hard to stop, and their defense is stout. I think for the Browns, Brian, they got to establish some sort of a running game. They have to. And they have to slow this game down like they did against Cincinnati. They got to eat up clock, and they got to, Brian, it's almost like a Rocky movie. You just got to hang in there until the final round, and then maybe you can get a KO. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. After watching Baltimore get beat like that in Buffalo, they're going to be pissed off coming into their house. Mm-hmm. And one thing I am terrified of, Bri, is I know that we have a great defense, but man, I have a feeling that this might be a romper on us coming up. What do you think that this might be a blowout?
It has the makings to be a blowout. It just kind of depends on our defense. I kind of feel like I know what we're going to get from our offense, and it's not great, but the defense, if they can have another superhuman effort, that's the only way we can kind of keep it close and maybe have a chance to win. But, yeah, I mean, Baltimore's offense just at this point kind of looks unstoppable. But one thing I will say about Schmidt, our kicker, because it seems like we're sticking with him now, and I kind of said it last year about in regards to Sean, when the home crowd was just, I mean, because right now Schmidt is public enemy number one in Cleveland.
Oh yeah,
nobody, the fans would boo him if he missed one more kick. So sometimes going on the road is maybe a good thing for guys like that, like it was. I thought it was going to be for Deshaun last year, but yeah, you get away from the home crowd. Maybe you don't feel as much pressure. You might have a different mindset because when you go on the road, everyone's going to be booing you regardless. You kind of accept that you're the villain, and so you kind of maybe embrace it a little bit rather than at home. You have all these 70,000 people supporting you, Browns fans, and you feel like you don't want to let them down. So I think maybe it might be a good thing for him going on the road. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe gets it back together a little bit. Still not saying he'll be great, but yeah, maybe we could use a couple of those field goals. So I don't know. I feel like, the margin for error is so small. You almost are going to need some turnovers. And I think back to some of the epic battles that we had against the Ravens in the past where the defense just played out of their mind. Remember the game where I think Lamar had 4 interceptions, mm-hmm. and we still lost with Baker? that's kind of when I was starting to sour on
Hold on.
Baker.
Don't forget about the poop one too, where he went in, took a
Oh
shit,
yeah,
and came back out and beat us.
yeah. And I forget who's the quarterback. Maybe Baker was the quarterback for
I
the
think
Browns at
Baker
that
was the
time too.
quarterback for that one too.
But that one was more of a shootout. That one was like back and forth in the second half. So that one was a fun game. But yeah, our defense just couldn't stop them. And then last year, so it's kind of like, been this roller coaster of Lamar is Superman, and then other times it looks like we can kind of corral him, and we're the kryptonite for him. So yeah, you're gonna have to turn him over, and then I don't know. I feel like the Browns have had success against Derrick Henry in his career, but all it takes is that 150-yard run to kind of break our backs. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be, it's going to have to be kind of a low-scoring, slow-moving game.
I don't want Denzel Ward anywhere near Derrick Henry. Anywhere near him. Just let him run by you. Just let him run right by you. Don't you dare try to tackle him. Don't do that. Don't dive into his ankles. The last time he tried that, he got a hip to the head and he was out for 6 games.
I think you dive at his ankles and you just try to swipe one foot to make him trip himself. That's the way you try to tackle him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that.
At least for smaller corners, anyways. Linebackers, he's probably still bigger than our linebackers, to be honest.
Jump on his back and let him carry you to the end zone.
Yeah. That's where this is where a Mason Graham can be beneficial for the Browns and just kind of plug up the holes. Like people saying he didn't have a great game this past week, and I didn't go back and really watch the film, but I feel like some people are expecting Mason Graham to look like Aaron Donald, and their games just are not comparative. Mason Graham, you're not going to notice him very much. When you're going to say Mason Graham had a great game, it's when there's piles at the line of scrimmage and there's no holes. That's when you know, okay, Mason Graham had a great game. But you're not going to be like, oh, there's 94 making plays. That's just not what he does. He creates piles at the line of scrimmage and closes holes. So like this past week, Chase Brown averaged 2 yards a carry. I feel like Mason Graham had a pretty big hand in that, along with our other defensive linemen as well. But yeah, I feel like that's just kind of going to be what he does. He's not going to make these splash plays like an Aaron Donald will. So, yeah, I think he had a good game just based on stopping the run like that.
Yeah, and for him, that's what we talked about when he got drafted. He's not going to be a flashy player. He's going to be the guy that works in the trenches. So, for what he did, I know he got a couple tackles, but what you're wanting him to do is kind of take blockers on so other people can make the tackles. Is what you're wanting him to do. You're wanting him to eat up everything, and hopefully he can do that here against Baltimore. Brian, what do you think score-wise we got for Baltimore versus Cleveland?
Well, I'm going to say Baltimore 27, Cleveland, I'm going to say 16 again.
Okay. I'm kind of similar with you on that one. I got Baltimore 28, and I got Cleveland 14.
All right.
And then we got the other NFL games real quick. So let's see here. Thursday night, Packers, Commanders. Bri, give me the Packers. We're going to go Packers 35-28 over the Commanders.
Do you know off the top of your head where the game is at?
It is in Green Bay.
Oh, okay. I'll say Packers 24 and Commanders 26.
Oh, Commanders. All right. Sunday night slate, Brian. You got the Falcons at the Minnesota Vikings Sunday night at 8:20. I am going to go Falcons 24, Vikings 17.
So Falcons at the Vikings?
Yep.
Oh, man. After seeing what J.J. McCarthy did last week?
Shut your face with that.
He's not going to lose. He doesn't lose.
Uh-huh.
I mean, all he does is win, 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 no matter
Oh my
what.
God! Here comes the homer out now.
But this one will be a little bit easier. I'll say Vikings 29 and Falcons 20.
All right. Next up, we got 2 Monday night games, Bri. We
Two
have
Monday night games.
Yep, we got the Buccaneers at the Texans, and then we got the Chargers at the Raiders.
Okay.
I'm going to go, let's see here. Let's go Buccaneers 26, Texans 17. And then give me the Chargers 35-17 over the Raiders.
Chargers, Raiders 35-17. All right. I'm going to say Houston. I don't think they fall to 0-2. So I'll say Houston 17 and the Buccaneers 16. And then I got the Chargers 24-21 over the Raiders. Good games.
All right. We'll keep tally of those scores. Bri, let's do our quick Illegal Ham to the Face Fantasy Football update of Week 1. Week 1, you had Runner beating Waddle, that Smith and Njigba, 147-137. You had the Portage County Prostitutes beating Honky Cat, 135-115. Bills Mafia beat up on Harold Keel, 114-94. You had Always Next Year. Your name sucks. 158-135. Team Big Meat lost to Dog Pound 153-141. And then finally, Big Bri beat Golden, and I think it's supposed to say Shadors on Mayflowers. Beat him 110-107. So there is your Legal Ham to Face Fantasy Football update. Oh, I had to get all that out real quick. All right.
Some high scores there. 150. That's good.
158. Who the hell does he have? Well, you got to admit, though, there was a couple outliers on, Herbert going for 50 points.
Herbert, Allen, Josh Allen went for
Justin Fields went for a whole bunch
45.
of points.
Yeah.
Who did he have? Kyler Murray. He had Njigba, Tyler Warren, and Pittman all had 20 points each.
I was going to say Warren had a lot of receptions. I think he had just as many as Fannin.
All right. Next up, just for everybody keeping track of the sack leader of your Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett has 2. TJ Watt has a big old goose egg. So just letting everybody know, TJ Watt has 0 sacks this year. So all you Steelers fans that say that he's so much better than Myles Garrett, he's got 0 so far in Week 1.
Wow.
Because
couldn't get one on Justin Fields, huh?
Couldn't get one on Justin Fields. Shocker, right?
I saw they did a naked bootleg on the goal line, and there was nobody within 15 yards of Justin Fields.
Not even close.
Although I will say, I take away my Browns card because I picked the Steelers in Survivor, and so it was very difficult at the end watching that 60-yarder sail through because I had so many mixed emotions. So
what was really difficult was watching Aaron Rodgers, who I thought was washed up, throw for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, but it's the Jets. It was a heck of it. The surprising part was the Jets doing what they did to the Steelers defense. Maybe they're slowing up a little bit.
All right, can we quickly do a Fat Boy Tuesday so we get these ice cream novelties off?
And now, it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
All right, Brad, you brought up ice cream novelties, and I'm not going to lie, the first one that came to my mind was the strawberry shortcake popsicle pop. That was the first one that came to my mind. And I'm loving that you're bringing this up because there are so many of them. Brian, what is your favorite ice cream novelty?
Man, I think it depends on the day. But I feel like what I go to the most are there's variations of it, but it's the cookie sandwich with the M&Ms, the M&M cookie with the ice cream in the middle. Chocolate chip cookies with the ice cream in the middle, a chipwich, I think maybe is what they're called. Something like that is just probably my go-to. I'm good for a drumstick or something like that. Another one that I just had maybe a couple months ago that was pretty good. It's almost like a Klondike bar, but it's like Reese cup. So it's like chocolate on the outside, like a Klondike bar, but it's peanut butter, ice cream on the inside. And yeah, I see those a lot. So I think if you haven't had them, try those. If you're a peanut butter fan, they're pretty good. And we were just at Myers the other day, and I saw they have, probably 7 or 8 different flavors, probably more flavors of Klondike bars. So I need to get around to trying some of that.
Yeah, my go-to is a drumstick. I don't know what it is about them. They're just my go-to favorite. You got that waffle cone, and generic, normal, doesn't matter. They're all kind of the same to me. Honorable mention, Bri, creamsicle.
Sure. Yeah.
I can't go wrong with one of those. And I'm kind of like you. And also give me the old-fashioned ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too.
Just the old-fashioned where it sticks to your fingers when you got it, like the chocolate sticks to your fingers and everything else. Just an old-school ice cream sandwich.
They make, and I know you're not going to like this, but it's pretty good. They make like an Andes mint, one of those, where it's mint ice cream with like little chunks of Andes mint in it. And yeah, if you're a mint fan, definitely got to check that out. And like the Snickers bars, the Twix bars. I mean, how can you go wrong with those?
Oh no, you can't.
They're getting expensive though. They're like, I swear I saw at like Cedar Point, they're selling them for like $6 or $8 a piece.
Shut up.
Oh, it was ridiculous. It was at least $6 for a candy bar.
Now, I do have to ask you, and nobody really knows where you work at. We're not going to bring up the name of the company, but does sometimes ice cream fall off the truck there at there with the Loveless household? Does something?
We got a freezer. We got a freezer at the branch, and just kind of help yourself. No questions asked. So.
How are you not 500 pounds right now? I know how much you love ice cream.
Well, that, and also we get one free whatever you want a month. So, and I just recently found out you're allowed to get like these big 3-gallon tubs. So now that Mama doesn't have the breast milk filling up our chest freezer in the basement, it's gonna be filled up with some 3-4 gallon tubs downstairs pretty soon.
Oh boy, that's interesting. So Jeffrey just chimed in, Jeffrey Champion. So we just restructured Denzel Ward's contract. What do you guys think of what that means?
From what this morning.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they converted $12 million of his 13 into a signing bonus and create more cap space. So they'll have over 18 million available for the cap right now.
How could it be bad? I mean, without knowing the semantics of it, and is this a Denzel or is this a Deshaun Watson deal where we just keep kicking money down the road and eventually it's going to bite us in the butt? I don't know.
Well, hey, with at least Denzel Ward, he's on the field and actually playing. So kick that can down the road all you want to. The other can,
no, I know.
The other can, you could go to recycling and just get rid of it.
Well, we're not going to ever get anything out of that. My concern is, in 3 years. Again, I'm not saying anything that I know anything. I'm just speculating. Are we going to be paying $50 million for a cornerback in 2-3 years?
Or maybe a big trade. Jeffrey, I don't think they're going to make a big trade this year. I really don't. Because at the point in time, why would you make a big trade right now, knowing that you're putting stock into next year, 2026? If the trade is anything coming up, it would be them getting assets for next year. So I don't think they would be making a trade for anybody right now, because I think that just wouldn't work out for them.
Yeah, unless they see value. What I heard today, and with Harold Fannon's performance, does it make Njoku expendable? He's in
Not
his
till
last
next year.
Well, he's in his last year's contract this year, isn't he?
No, I think he's got one more year on it.
Okay, but if you think Fannin is a starting tight end in the league and you got him for the next 4 years pretty cheap, and you're paying Njoku $15 million a year, I know Kevin likes the 2 tight end setup, and I don't think they would do that. But if somebody comes and offers a first for Njoku, I think you have to at least consider it, or maybe even a second and a third or something like that. So,
actually, you are right. He is in the final year of his contract. Yeah.
Right. So if you don't plan on re-signing him, and I believe we signed him last time for $15 million a year, so you're probably gonna have to pay him maybe close to $20 million next year. And can you do that? Can you afford to do that with the Deshaun deal and the Miles deal? So I think he's a tradable piece. Knowing that he only has this year left on his contract, you might only get a second for him, maybe a third. But yeah, like I said, if Fannon's as good as you think he is, you want to get him as many targets as possible. I think you might pull the trigger on a Njoku trade.
That would, good God, I think that would be crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah, hey, the only reason why is because they could have. We'll get into this next week, because it's a longer conversation. Because if they're going to do that kind of shit, they should have just traded Myles Garrett to begin with, and then just rebuild everything at that point in time.
But I don't think it's a rebuild mode. I think it's Fannin. You view Fannin as somebody who gives you 90% of what Njoku does. And
no, I understand, but
$15 million cheaper.
But I'm just saying, if you were going to do that, you should have done this all in the off season before you drafted everybody. If
you're saying going to trade, you should have traded Njoku. But you didn't know what you had with Fannin at that point, and we still don't. It's just been one game, but yeah, I think if Fannin continues to progress and show that he should be an every down tight end, I would think you gotta at least consider it.
Yeah. All right, Brian, you want to close out the show, do our top 3, and then do the trivia?
Sure.
All right, let's do our top 3, and then we will do trivia, and we'll close out the show tonight. I think we're going to have to come back to ice cream novelties, Brian, because we were just so distracted with everything else.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
But, hey, because you could talk about ice cream all day. Let's just be honest.
All day.
All day. All right, top 3 tonight is pump up songs. Now, Brian, what are we talking about? Like, you're talking about, like, workout, pump out?
I'm thinking anything, and this kind of came to my mind organically. Just when I'm having a day where I'm just tired, I'm just dragging ass, and I'm just like, I need something to pick me up. I need a shot of adrenaline in the veins. And so, like, what song do you put on that really gets your blood flowing and kind of gets you going? I know this is maybe kind of similar to, we did like walk-up songs before, but
no, it's fine.
Mine are kind of different. Like, I just need, a loud something, be it vocals or be it the melody or whatever, just kind of what gets you going when you're dragging ass.
Well, why don't you go first? Give me a little what you got going, and then I'll chime in on mine.
All right. So I got a lot. When we did our walk-up songs, I kind of tried to get some different genres in there, and but this time it's all It's all rock. It's all rock and roll. Even though it's maybe not my favorite one, but it's just when I think about pop-up jams, pop-up songs to get me going. I got number 3, Bon Jovi, It's My Life. I don't know why.
Really?
Just whenever I hear
Really?
it just gets me going.
Hold on.
So
And I'm muting you right now. Bon Jovi is your number 3, Bry?
he's number 3. What's wrong with Bon Jovi?
Okay.
What's wrong with Bon Jovi? I thought it was classic.
You're fine. You do you, Bill.
I mean, maybe not as hard as like AC/DC or something, Metallica or something, but all right. So for all the metal heads out there, I got like a metal, and this is like completely not what I listened to. I don't know how I got into this. I believe it was in high school. My left tackle, like, love this guy. His name's Andrew WK. Do you know who Andrew WK is?
Party hard?
No, it's Time to Party.
Okay.
It's only like, I think it's only like a 2-minute song or something like that, but it's just straight gas, the whole time. And for whatever reason, turn it up to 11 and listen to that. And so, that's one that might not have guessed that if you know me well. And then number 1 came out to it at my wedding, and unfortunately, it's kind of closely tied to an NFL team that we just played in the Cincinnati Bengals. It's what they played, but Welcome to the Jungle, Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Just the build up to that, like, just really gets me going.
Plus, every time I hear that, I think of the program.
I think of Jim Rome because he just plays it all the time, but I don't listen to Rome as much anymore.
Yeah, I think of the movie The Program, and as soon as I hear it, I just think of Mac in Latimer just painting his face,
smashing his head through the window.
All right, so mine is pretty much all rock, Bry, and if I kind of got your feeling of what you're going with there. Number 3 for me is Limp Bizkit Break Stuff. Can't go wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 for me is Disturbed, Down with the Sickness.
Sure, know that.
And Bry, number 1, Drowning Pool, Bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you get that going, you're you're in rage mode right there. Like, you're wanting to run through something.
Okay, yeah, good ones. Yeah, and I think I know all of those.
Which is shocking because you're a little country.
I know. Well, yeah, right. But I mean, I feel like a lot of people know those, or if you don't know them, then at least if you hear the beat or something or the build up to it, you kind of know it. Enter Sandman was a good one too.
Oh yeah,
in that genre, just always gets me fired up hearing. I mean, I couldn't imagine being at like Virginia Tech and hearing that. So a lot of Michigan's Mr. Brightside got to be one of the worst, even as a Michigan fan. It's just who gets pumped up from that? Even hang on, Sloopy. I mean, if you're really honest as an Ohio State fan, I know it's tradition, but how do you get jazzed up from that?
Yeah, you don't. Ride the Lightning, Metallica.
I don't know that one.
And dude, anything AC/DC.
I know. Thunderstruck.
Anything AC/DC. Back in Black, just anything AC/DC. Trying to think of some other fun ones. I do love Andrew WK though.
I don't know. I know Party Hard, and I know it's time to party. But
because every time I hear Party Hard, I'm just like, next thing I hear Party Hard, I'm thinking of a frat house, like right before people come over, and just everybody just shotgunning beers.
It just gets in your head, and I mean, you can't help but go a little crazy, get jazzed up after that.
All right, let's do our trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Please go adopt a City Dog. If you cannot adopt, please volunteer, donate, do whatever you can to help out a City Dog. Now, Bri, you asked me a Cleveland Guardians edition with Jose Ramirez, and he took second place in stolen bases and RBIs, correct?
Correct.
Who did he pass for stolen bases? So number one, I believe, is Kenny Lofton, correct?
Yeah, by considerable margin, like 200 stolen bases
Okay.
or something like that. So I figured that would be an easy one.
Is it a 90s player?
I think so.
I mean, you think so?
What
Is
you
it
got?
Omar Vizquel?
There you go.
All right.
Omar Vizquel. Yeah, I was a little surprised at that. I mean, I remember him stealing a bunch, but yeah, Lofton and Vizquel, 1-2. I mean,
I didn't think he would stole that much as Lofton did. It felt like Lofton was running every play.
well, yeah, Lofton has 200 on Omar Vizquel, and I think Vizquel was probably here longer than Lofton was.
Now the
but
RBI one. Is Tomey in the lead for the RBI?
nope.
Now, did Jose pass Tomey then?
Maybe. Yeah, you might be. Tommy might be fourth or something. Like
Okay.
Jose's two. Tommy might be. I saw the top five.
Victor?
Nope. I don't think you can get it. I mean,
Older-
the clue I can give you, yeah, is an older guy. The clue I would give you would be his number is retired in right field.
Lou Boudreaux?
No, good guess.
Dang it. Who else is in right
Picture
field?
any other ones up there?
I'm trying to. It's been a while.
Boudreaux was a good one.
All right, give it to
I
me.
don't even know. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't want to butcher his last name. I think it's Earl Averill or Averill.
Okay.
I think it's Averill. Earl Averill. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what decade he played, to be honest, but yeah, he was clear of Jose by a few hundred anyways, so that'd be a tough one to break.
All right.
But the other guys were older too. Tomei might have been, like I said, maybe the fourth spot.
I think
the other
Tomey
two
was up
guys were
there, but I couldn't remember who he passed because, Brian, he's climbing up the leaderboard. And
in every category.
I really do believe that by the time that his time is done here, he will be more sacred than Tomey, and he'll go down as one of the probably top three Indians players of all time.
I think that's fair. I couldn't believe somebody said, is he 33 now, or maybe he'll be 33 next year?
33
Can't believe
now.
He's that old.
I know, right? He doesn't even look that old.
No, it's sad though. I mean, to think that he might only have a couple good years in his prime left.
Why? He played in the World Series.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just not ready for it to end now, especially if they're talking about it. If we miss, knock on wood, if we miss the playoffs this year, and then they're talking about a strike for next year, that we might not get playoff baseball. We're looking. He'd be 35 before he gets a chance of getting back to the playoffs.
Well, maybe he's one of those guys who can play up until he's 40, like Ichiro.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, he could. It's not like it's football, and he's a running back or anything like that. So, but he's never really been a workout warrior. But sometimes those dad bods.
Hey, allegedly, we don't know that he's not a workout warrior.
Look at Pat Mahomes. He's got a dad bod, and he's doing pretty good things. Peyton Manning. Nobody would say he was shredded.
Peyton Manning had a dad bod when he was in 8th grade. What are you talking about?
It's funny. All the Mannings seem to have like the same mannerisms, the same movements. Like when they walk, like their hips just kind of swing back and forth. And it's, watching Arch was kind of funny.
He had a dad bod and a 38-inch forehead back in the day.
Oh,
jeez. Yeah. Like they could draw plays on that thing. I think that's why he was so successful. Is he just pick up his helmet a little bit and the play would be right there on that thing?
Oh, whenever they'd have to get him a looser helmet, because whenever he'd take his helmet off, he'd have like a big red stamp across his forehead. And, not a good look.
I think that's what it was. It was so tight it just made it longer.
Yeah, probably gotta keep it all in there.
All right, we're here at the end of the show. We want to thank everybody for chiming in and watching tonight. James, all the new comments in here with Jeffrey. Thank you so much for commenting. Al Gore made an appearance tonight. So glad that Al Gore.
Man Bear Pig.
right there. Al Gore, need a pitcher bad. James, Justin, all the normal guys in here. Thank you guys so much. We want to thank our troops and first responders for everything you guys do. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this show. I can't thank you guys enough. Bri, we're here. God bless them.
Yep. God bless you. God bless America.
We are Legal Hand to Face, definitely uncorked, unloaded. We're out praying for a Browns win on Sunday, but if not, it'll be something fun to talk about on Tuesday. See you guys next Tuesday. Have a good night.